Montgomery beatdown. I was so proud. You know why? Because for the first time in a long time, I saw us as blacks and Hispanics, we actually decided to come together.
That's right.
That's the first time in a long time we actually decided to come together. And you know what? And let me tell you something. In that whole midst of us coming together, you know what we had to do? Slack it. You know what we couldn't do? We couldn't love our oppressors, because in that very moment, you know what we realized as black people? We realized that there was no way possible that we could love our oppressors and love our people at the same time. At that very time, we realized, you know what? We got to make a decision. Either we gonna love our oppressors or we gonna love our people. And that's why I love when I saw that young boy, he swam across that water like that. I said, my God, I didn't even think black people knew how to swim, number one. But you know what? That's something that's culture, man. Because any group of people that see something that happening to their own kind, that natural instinct, you ain't even gotta know that, brother or sister. But something in you say, you know what, let me go help that black man out. Let me go help that black woman out. That's something that's in us. But in today's time, we won't do that. You know why? Because following after the Christian church, man, not teaching us God's laws according to the Bible.
All my niggas ride for me. I got niggas that'll die for me. You niggas ain't built like that.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. If a man say
what?
If a man say, I love God,
like most Christians say. Like most Christians say, man, I love God. I love God. He knows my heart. He knows my heart. Well, this is what the Bible is saying.
And hateth his brother.
Whoa, back up. Read that from the top. Read that from the top one more time. Let's read that a little bit slow so our people can hear this. Because some of these scriptures are the first time my brothers and sisters might be hearing this.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. If a man say, I love God.
Meaning what? Meaning somebody tells you, hey, I'm a Christian. I go to church such and such. I'm under pastor such and such. Man, I love God. I love you, brother. I love you. I love you. That's what they'll tell you, right? Keep going.
And hateth his brother.
It says what?
And hateth his brother.
Now what does it mean by hate? What does it mean by hate? Hate ain't just words, man. It's actions as well. When you hate somebody, what does it mean by hate? Well, what are we doing? What are we doing to one another? Today's day in the black community, what are we doing? Are we not fighting one another? Are we not shooting, robbing, and killing, and sleeping with brothers' wives? Are we not doing that? Are we not doing that today's time? Yes, we are. Brothers that sit right here and say that they are Christian and they go to the such and such church under pastor such and such, but then in the same breath are threatening to kill you. That's what it's talking about. Read that from the top.
Kind of kind. This is the book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
What?
He is a liar.
One more time.
He is a liar.
So if you claiming that you are God, that you a God-fearing man, you love the Lord, and you go to church, you go to such and such church, such and such pastor or whatever, but then you turn around in the same breath and threaten a brother, and you threaten to kill a brother, the Bible says you are what?
He is a liar.
You are a liar. You are a lying and hypocrite, man. That's what you are. And I ain't saying that. The Bible is saying that. That's what the Bible says. But see, this is something that your Christian pastor won't show you. Because you know what? The moment that Christian pastor decides to show you scriptures like this, you know what's going to happen? Them people going to leave them church. Them seats are going to become empty. And not only are those seats going to become empty, you know what else is going to become empty? His pockets or his bank accounts. That's what's going to become empty as well. Keep going.
For he that loveth not his brother.
Say what?
For he that loveth not his brother.
Meaning that brother that you see every day. That brother who you see every day at your school or at your job or in your neighborhood. That brother who you see every day who is talking about. That brother who you see every day who you don't care nothing about, who you fight back and forth, who you threaten to harm, who you threaten to kill. Keep going.
Whom he have seen, how can he love God, whom he have not seen?
So how can you say that you love God, which you have not seen? You have not physically seen the Lord. How can you claim that you love the Lord that you have not physically seen, but yet you hating your brother? Yet you threaten to kill your brother. Yet you threaten to harm your brother because you upset at something that we got to say, which is coming out of the Bible. But you threaten to harm and you threaten to harm and to kill us. But you claim that you love the Lord. You's a liar, man.
That's right.
You's a liar. And you know what? Let me tell you who some of the biggest liars are. Some of the biggest liars on the face of this planet Earth is our oppressors. That's who some of the biggest liars right now in this place is our oppressors. We follow after them. They promised us all these good things. Did they not say 40 acres and a mule? Did they not say that? Did they not promise us that? They promised us all these things, and we follow after that and we believe it, man. Go ahead, brother. Read that one more time from the top.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he have seen.
Let me tell you something. That fight that happened down there in Montreal, Alabama. Let me say that fight that happened down there in Alabama. Let me tell you something. What those brothers and sisters did, what they exercised, what they showed was true brotherhood. That's what they did, man. And you know what's crazy? Now, you know what's crazy? Now I don't know those brothers and sisters. I don't know what church they go to. I don't know if they're religious or not. But this is something that your Christian pastor will never show you. Those brothers and sisters, they show true brotherhood right there. They show true and righteous brotherhood. They all stood together and they stood one another. They stood right next to one another and they defended that brother. And let me tell you about those oppressors. Those oppressors were cowards. Let me tell you something about them. There was a group of 4 or 5 different oppressors that ganged up on that older black man. They were cowards, man, and they ganged up on that older black man like that. And it took another group of young black people to come and defend that older man. Because realistically, that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be defending the old and we're supposed to be defending the young. The people that can't defend themselves. Women, children, and elderly people. We're supposed to be doing that. And that's what we come to do, the priests and prophets of the I.S.U.P.K. We come out here and defend the poor. We come out here to defend the defenseless, man. That's what we come out here to do, to wake up our brothers and sisters every weekend. For that man or that brother, that sister, man, that can't defend themselves. That's what we come out here to do. We come out here and defend the ones that can't defend for themselves. Keep going.
How can he love God whom he have not seen?
How can you love the Lord, man, who you have not seen? But yet your brother who you see all day, every day. That sister, all day, every day, who you see. And that's what you got going on in the Christian church right now. Hating one another. They can't stand one another. Did you see sister such and such? Gossiping. Everything that's going on in that Christian church. That's what goes on right now. And that's where it comes from. That's why it's no surprise when we talk to most Christians and the majority of the people that come out here that try to fight us are what religion? Christians. They're the main ones and the majority of the ones that try to come out here and fight us. And it be our own people. That's how you know the Bible fits us, man, because it ain't our oppressors that come out here and try to fight us. It be our own people, man.
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him.
Say what now?
And this commandment have we from him.
Now you know why a lot of Christians won't follow this right here? Because they haven't even read this, and it says it's a commandment. But according to Creflo Dollar, according to Creflo Dollar, he said you ain't even got to keep the Big Ten. So this law right here, man, it's out of the book. You can't even keep that apparently according to Creflo Dollar. And you wonder why it's so much nonsense going on in that Christian church. You wonder why. You wonder why. As my brother pulled earlier, man. Woe unto these pastors, man, that destroy our people. That scatter our people. Salakia. Keep going.
That he who loveth God love his brother also.
Read that one more time from the top. What's that, verse 21? Read 21 from the top.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 4 verse 21. And this commandment have we from him.
It says, and this what?
And this commandment.
And what?
And this commandment.
So this was a commandment right here, man. This was a commandment. This was a commandment. This is something we're supposed to be doing, man. Following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. This is brotherhood. All throughout this Bible is nothing but brotherhood. If we were to actually crack open this Bible and read and understand what's in here, man, we can help ourselves get up out of this condition. But as long as we stand in this Christian church, we will never get the true understanding and wisdom and understanding of the Bible. We will never get it following after our Christian pastors in the Christian church. We will never understand it, man. It's It is time for us to come out of the Christian household, man, and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. And you first got to do that, man, by coming to the preaching prophets of the I.S.U.P.K. We'll teach you the true understanding of the Bible, man. We got all the food and nourishment that you need, man. We got food for your belly and food for your spirit. Or as the young folks say today, food for thought.
Stand alone.
Go ahead.
Stand alone.
And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also.
Stop that. Give me Leviticus, the 19th chapter. Leviticus 19 and 17. And I'm so destroyed every time I come out here and I see what's going on. I see the conditions of our people. And when I see that, you know what? I'm not even mad at my people. You know who I'm mad at? I'm mad at our oppressors for putting us in this condition. I'm mad at our oppressors for doing all the stuff that they done to us and left us in this condition.
I.S.U.P.K.
It says what now?
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
This is what the Bible is saying. The Bible said we should not hate our brother. We should not hate our brother in our heart. And let me help y'all out. Now, what does the word heart mean in the Bible? Any Christians out there? Because Christians say that all the time. God knows my heart. God knows my heart. But when you read heart in the Bible, understand it's talking about your mind. Because you can't think with the organ that's pumping blood throughout your body. You can't think with that. You think with the organ that's up here in your skull. That's your brain. Read that from the top.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
This is the law. This is a commandment. Now, this is something we're not supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be hating our brothers in our hearts, meaning in our minds. A Christian will sit right up here and tell you that they love you, but they'll turn around and stab you in the back, or they'll threaten you, say, "Oh man, God's gonna kill you," because they don't like what we got to say. Go ahead, brother.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Stop right there. Now, the Christians, they'll read the word neighbor, and they read neighbor, and they think that's literal. They'll see the word neighbor in the Bible, and they'll think that's a brother or sister that's next to him. What they say, other one, turn to your neighbor, turn to your left, and turn to your right. Tap your neighbor on the shoulder and say, neighbor, neighbor. And that's what they think. They think when they read the word neighbor in the Bible that it's literal. So much so that they'll let an oppressor come into their church and kill him. He goes by the name of Dylan Stone Roof. You can thank your Christian church for that. But it tells us not to hate our brother. Our brother is who our neighbor is. Meaning your fellow so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's who your brother is. That's who your neighbor is, man. Not the person that's literal next to you. Keep going.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
Say what now?
And not suffer sin upon him.
What does it mean to suffer sin upon him, man? Who knows what that means? And not suffer sin upon him. Well, first of all, let's understand what sin is according to the Bible. Something that you ain't gonna learn in the Christian church. Sin is a transgression of the law. And the transgress means to go against. So if you go against any of God's laws, that's what a sin is. Read that last part one more time.
And not suffer sin upon him.
And it means what it means by suffer sin upon him, meaning you don't put that brother or sister in a compromising position to a point now where they feel like they have to commit a sin or they have to do something that's against God's laws just to do something that they feel that they need to do, like feeding their family. So you don't put a brother in a compromising position, meaning I'm gonna do something to this brother that I know is wrong, but it calls him to do something that's unlawful to me. Which is what goes on now. In other words, let me not sleep with this brother's wife. Let me not do that to him. Because by me sleeping with my brother's wife, you know what that's going to cause him to do? That's going to cause him to want to kill me. Which is unlawful as well, according to the Bible. That's unlawful. That's what it means to not suffer sin against our brother. So you know, what that means is, when I read that scripture, you know what that means? That means not only am I not going to sleep with my brother's wife, I'm not going to sell drugs to him. I'm not going to molest his children. I'm not going to do any of those things that our so-called Christian pastors are doing to us right now. Keep going.
Verse 18.
So read that from the top. Verse 17.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Now, a lot of people, they get upset with the I.S.U.P.K has to say. They love to say, well, we're a hate group and we hate our people. Well, let me ask you a question. What crimes are we committing against our people? Let me ask you that. So, like, what crimes are we committing against any people? We aren't committing any crimes against any people. Not our people or our oppressors. We aren't committing any crimes. We ain't breaking any of God's laws. We are correcting our people. That's what we're doing. We are using a book of the Lord. That's what we're doing. Now you might not like what we say or how we saying it, but we are doing this out of love. We love our people.
That's right.
We ain't harming. We ain't harming a soul out here. It don't matter. We got brothers out here that threaten to harm us all the damn times. What we do? We say back up. That's all we do. We don't harm our people at all. There's no video evidence of any member of the I.S.U.P.K ever hurting a brother or an oppressor for that matter. As a matter of fact, we beating our people right now. Go ahead.
Con, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Drop that. Give me Matthew the 25th chapter. Man, we're going to learn something today, man. We're going to understand what true brotherhood is, man. Anybody that's coming out here right now, that's listening right now or later on, you're going to understand what true brotherhood is, man, after we get through with this. This is something that you ain't going to get in your Christian church. The only thing your Christian pastor cares about is his pockets. That's all they care about. They're not getting ready to crack open this book and show you the true understanding and wisdom of this Bible. This is something you're not going to get in there. That's why every time you turn around, you got somebody that's fighting left and right in the church. Or you got some Christian pastor molesting somebody's child, or the Christian pastor is sleeping with somebody's wife, or the Christian pastor is somehow or another stealing money out of there. Verse 40. Matthew 25, verse 40.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25 and verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto him, Verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of these least of my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
Meaning what now? Who was speaking right now? What color are those words written in?
Red.
So you know what that means, right? That means Christ is speaking and he was saying what? If you've done it to one of the least, you've done it to me. Meaning what? Meaning, for example, the least, think about that poor man that's on the street, or that crackhead that's on the street, that brother that you just walk over and you step over and you think it's nothing and you look down upon. Yeah, I'm talking to you, man, the Christian church. Think about that brother like that, because you look at him as less than because of the condition and the state that he is in. Well, you need to understand something. We as Israel, we were all there at one point in time in our life, man, in that low state. And Christ is saying, if you've done it to one of the least, you've done it to me. So look at how you treat that brother, man. Look at how you treat that brother and that sister next to you. And just imagine, if you're doing it to that brother and sister, you're doing it to Christ as well. Now just imagine, if every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man and woman walked around with this mindset right here, how much better off would we be? What if we walked around every day and if we thought to ourselves, you know what, I can't treat that brother, although that brother is homeless, I can't treat him any type of way, because if I treat him like that, I'm treating Christ that same type of way. Think about how much better off we would be in the condition we would be in if we walked around with that type of mentality. If we walked around every day and said, you know what, it's like getting caught. So like it. Just think about if we walked around, if we had that mindset, if we had that mentality, if we walked around every day and say, you know what, I'm going to treat this black person, I'm going to treat this black man or woman a little bit better than what I did last week. I'm going to treat them a lot better. If we walked around and had that same mindset, we would be so much better off. But America has fooled us and has gotten us destroyed. That's why I love when I saw that video, when I saw my people, for the first time in a long time, decide to get together and stand up. Stand up for a righteous cause. Stand up for a righteous cause, man, and decide to defend one another. Because for all we know, that brother might have lost his life that night. We might not even know. Go ahead.
Khan, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 25 and verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of these least of my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
Man, this is what Christ was saying. Christ was always thinking about his brothers. Christ was always thinking about brotherhood, man. All throughout this Bible, if you read these scriptures, it's nothing but brotherhood. It's up and down, left and right, back and forth and throughout these scriptures. This is something that you ain't gonna get in the Christian church, man. Because when you go to the Christian church, all they gonna talk about is prosperity. How God comes to save, how God comes to deliver. All he cares about is his pockets. So because the only thing that Christian pastor cares about is his pockets, guess what he's going to preach about? He's going to preach about everything that makes you feel good. Because as long as it makes you feel good, you gonna keep coming back to his church. And the more you keep coming back to a church, the richer his pockets gets, man. That's all they care about. They're not gonna tell you the truth, because the truth itself is bitter. The truth is like medicine. It doesn't always taste good. It's like good castor oil, man. If I'm pronouncing that right. But it's good, but it does your body good though. It might not taste good to you, but it's good for you. It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing with these words in this Bible. It may not always sound good, it may not always taste good, but man, but it's good for you.
Praises to the Most High. I ain't like most guys. Eyes on the future, but I learned from a boat ride. Tribe of Benjamin, inherited on both sides. Background Jamaican, mistreated, and I know why. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Kwam Yasha Allah, sons of the power. Rise from the ghetto when Satan want us devoured. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church towers. Never dying on my knees like no coward. Wanna be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide, we the victim, homicide ain't the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms, never getting treatment. Something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long and it ain't a secret. That's why I die for the